Part 16, an idea. I'm going in, says Masika, one of the younger aunts. Might make things worse, Akelo cautions. Displace the mud. Pull her down towards the bottom. I could go in, I suggest the word popping out before I can swallow them. It's more mud than water, Bob. Akelo shakes her head. You'll get stuck as Kudzu. You'll get as stuck as Kudzu. I don't exactly argue the point. I've got an idea, comes a small voice. All the aunties turn to Ruby, and she looks startled to have their complete attention. A couple of us get on the other side of the moat, Ruby says. Grab trunks. We'll make, what did you call it? A sling, I exclaim. A hammock, like the gorillas have. I don't know, Ruby. Akilo sounds doubtful. Kudzu grabs for Masika's trunk with both hands. Wait, Masika says. Think, I've got her this time. Masika lifts her trunk with deliberate slowness, carefully trying to support the baby gorilla. But once again, Kazu can't hold on. She lets out a despairing cry. Down he goes, lower this time, her nose and eyes just visible. Okay, Okello says, with a nod at Ruby. Let's give Ruby's idea a try. Masika, Lahili, Elodie, a crossover to the far side. Zaina, Ruby, and I will take this side. All three elephants move with surprising quickness to the spot where I crossed. They gallop back until they're facing us. It's strange to see them on the other side of the moat, with the wall destroyed. They are technically in Ivan and Kiani's domain. Move down a bit, Akelo instructs. That way, she motions with her head. We want to scoop her out, not push her down. Three on one side, three on the other. The elephants reach out for each other's trunks, creating a kind of a cradle. Okay, now, said Akelo. Lower, carefully. Down they go into the muddy water. Ruby nearly loses her footing, so I grab her tail with my teeth. It doesn't really help, and she yelps, "Ouch!" But my heart's in the right place. Kudzu trashes her tiny arm. Stay calm, I call. Easy for me to say. She looks over at me, and I'll never forget the fear in her dark eyes. Then she vanishes below the surface. Team Elephant. Hurry! Ruby cries. The elephant bend lower, moving like a giant elephant shovel. Where is she? Masika asks. Lower, says Akelo. Lower, sisters! There, Ruby yells. No, wait, there! Up, Akelo commands, and the interlock trunks rise from the muddy water to reveal a tiny, trembling baby gorilla sitting in their makeshift sling. Kudzu, says Akelo. Stay calm, baby. We're gonna toss you to safety, okay? Kudzu gives a little nod. Oh, on my count, says Akelo. Start swinging. 1, 2, 3. Up and over go the trunks, and up and over goes Kudzu. She lands with a little plop on the gorilla side of the moat, right next to Masika's rear legs. Good work, everyone, says Akelo. And good thinking, Ruby. Thanks, elephants, says Kudzu, wiping mud from her eyes. That was fun. Can we do it again? Akelo takes a deep breath. Maybe later, sweetheart. Quickly, I make my way back over the moat. Kudzu, I say, follow me. Let's go find your 8 peeps. Can I go with Bob? Ruby asks Akelo. Akelo touches Ruby's back with her trunk. I'd much rather have you stay here, dear. And it's may I. But Uncle Ivan, Ruby pleads. I'll keep an eye on her, I tell Akelo. I'm going, Ruby says in her most determined voice. Maybe I can help. I helped just now. Akelo hesitated, but finally gives a slow nod. Probably, she figures there's no arguing with Ruby. She's right on that one. Ruby crosses the moat and joins Kudzu and me. Be careful, Akelo warns. There's more of this storm coming. I got her, Akelo, I say. You better have her, she warns. I think I flew, Bob, says Kudzu, as we weave our way through the wasteland that was Gorilla World. Yeah, me too, I say. It's that kind of day. What's out there? A handful of humans, firefighters, and police, mostly, have begun to roam the grounds, checking out the damages. We pass the park employees with a weapon slung over his shoulder and a net in one hand. Trank gun, he tells a passing police officer. We don't know what's out there. She nods. How fast do they work? On something like a big cat. He shakes his head. Not fast enough. I look over at Ruby. Stay close, kid. As we near the gorilla villa, what's left of it, anyways, a screech hits my ear that makes the wailing police sirens sound like mewling kittens. It's Kiani. She's frantically knuckle running back and forth near the collapsed gorilla villa. Chunks of cement, shredded wooden beams, and bent metal lies everywhere. A cluster of gorilla females and juveniles huddle not far from some rescue workers. There's Mama, Kazu cries, dashing towards a gorilla named Jody. I'm so horrified by the destruction that I've almost forgotten my muddy little charge. I really shouldn't be trusted as an ape sitter. Kudzu darts over to her mother, waiting embrace. Jody nuzzles her and strokes her and says soothing motherly gorilla things. Thank you, Jody mouths to me. Don't thank me, I say, looking over at Ruby. Thanks, thank this little gal. She figured out how to save Kudzu. Thank you, Ruby. Isn't it Ivan's friend? Ruby gives a shy nod. We all helped. I provided moral support. I add. I flew, Mama, said Kudzu. Of course you did, dear, says Jody. Kiani's fresh wail focused my mind. I gotta go, I say. Ruby, you should stay here. I'm going for a no nonsense voice. The one Julia uses on me when she calls me Robert. Let me see what's what. I'll be right back. No way, Uncle Bob, Ruby replies. Just ask firmly. I give up, but I'm afraid of what she might see, of what we both might see. Any sign of Ivan? I ask Jody. She shakes her head, a grim look clouding her eyes. With Ruby by my side, we approach the pile of wreckage that used to be the gorilla villa. At the same moment, Ruby and I gasp. There's Ivan's hand barely peeking through the rubble.